50. 297 gold left in the pool.
I didn't actually put what armor it is, but I did put the price, so I should be able to figure this out.
How much is 2 oil flasks? Or I guess how much is one, and I'll just do the math for a second.
Oil flasks cost 1 silver piece.
Oh. Is it
I
okay
think
if
it was hide armor I did.
okay if I get 5 of those? There's 5 silver pieces in the party pool.
They have that in the lucky, yeah.
Yeah, it should be hide armor. Okay.
What's Cog doing?
Cog, I could probably check Linsky in a minute.
13.
Clog's gonna, or Clog. Clog's gonna go to the Volakovich mansion because he has a meeting with the Mrs. Volakovich.
Right. You were meeting Lydia Petrovna. Right. Okay. So you arrive there and they have a butler that meets you. When you explain who you're seeing, Lydia meets you in the parlor, and she's kind of wringing her hands, and she says, "My husband would not be very happy to see me talking to you. He still resents what you did."
That's understandable, but I'm sure in the long run he'll kind of come to understand how this might have been beneficial further down the road. There's more ways to skin a cat, so to speak. That's an organic term, right?
Oh no.
I think I understand what you mean. How is this all going to help my husband? Explain to me what this does for my family.
Simple. Advertising. You make a donation to the company, and every time we do something, every piece of advertisement for the company, we put in our title, funded, and we put the family name. So with every good deed that happens, your family gets credit for it.
She seems really surprised by the suggestion, and she says, "I had thought you would ask for more. Really, all you want is a small amount of funding?"
You could consider it a donation, correct. We have some things that we need to work on, and in order to make that work, we need a few people who are willing to sponsor. That, on top of that, I have a plan that would probably help bring both parties together in a mutually beneficial relationship.
What is the plan?
Well, we recently assisted your son out of a bit of a pickle. I'm sure you're aware already. Plus, considering he's also an employee of the company.
I know that Victor's been very busy working for you.
Exactly, he does a great job. It's come to my attention that I'm under the impression that another one of my employees from the Wachter family, I don't really have much of a concept of romance, but they both seem to appreciate each other pretty well.
Yes, they've grown quite close.
Exactly. And considering you're both the most powerful families in the region, it would make sense that putting together both of your abilities would be nothing but beneficial for the company, am I right?
While I am concerned about the Wachter girl's constitution and whether she may be mentally stable, I do not hold anything against her necessarily. I understand that Victor has strong feelings for her, and I wouldn't stand in his way.
Good. That sounds perfect. So there's that. I'll talk to Lady Wachter, and we'll figure about arranging something that might, bring us as a community together. As far as some donations, we need about 200 gold.
This is a huge sum.
All of them are worth it. You'd say, I would assume that your husband would imagine that this amount would be more than worth it if it got the family back into good graces, allowing him to once again aid in the people he cares so much for.
I can see what I can do, but I could never get you that much money. You see, Vargas handles most of our money, and I would have to pay for this out of what he gives to me.
Would you say that Vargas is a rather economically minded individual?
He saves, if that's what you mean.
Well, I just so happen to be trying to make some investments in town that might bring some profit to this place, and it come to my consideration, maybe while governing may not be his strongest asset, if he's got more of a mind for money, he might be able to help in a different way.
Oh no, my husband would have no part of it. And governing Vallaki was his life's goal. It's the only thing that ever really mattered to him.
It sounds like he needs better hobbies. See, he's looking at it from such... We'll have to talk about this another time as far as his involvement. But he might need to consider opening his horizons. Governing is only one way of managing and aiding in people. But aside from that, there's also the business of, do you own his previous facility that he used for disciplinary action?
He would punish dissidents inside of our own home.
So that building across the way, right?
I thought you were meeting her at her home.
I am at her home. He's asking about the building they have across the way. The building that they punish people in.
No, it was our home that he would punish them in. He would re-educate them.
Okay, I don't like the sound of this guy.
No, he does.
We might need to borrow that for a different venture. Instead of disciplinary, we're hoping to house some new individuals coming into town that will do nothing but aid in the security of our town. And I was wondering if maybe he'd be able to shack them up for a little while we work on more proper facilities.
Vargas has fallen into drink since what you did. He would be very angry even knowing I had talked to you. He would not want anyone staying in our home. The fact that we have retained it is something of a miracle considering Wachter's grip on this town. She has the house guarded night and day by those robed acolytes of hers.
Well, don't you worry about her. I'm sure I can negotiate with her just fine. We happen to be pretty close, so I could make your guys' situation a little better off. With some assistance, of course. Like I said, funding for the company, with everything that we do, we'll put your guys' name along with it, therefore showing that, while maybe misguided, Mr. Vargas had the best of intentions and is helping the community by growing one of its biggest assets, namely the security company that's keeping most of the terrors from coming in. It's baby steps.
If you show me projects in progress, I will put some money toward them, as long as you will clear my husband's name with the people so that they know that he is not the evil man they think he is. He only wanted to do right by the Vallakians.
I have no doubt. And I think that's more than possible. For example, I've been talking to Lady Wachter about establishing a road that would shorten the distance between us and some of the other routes around town, while also building homes for the local refugees. Would the Vallaki, or not Vallaki, would the
Vlakovich?
Vlakovich, thank you. I would think the Vlakoviches would be interested in helping something that would be such a boon to the local community, alright?
If you want my money for that project, you'll have to show me that you have some way to advertise him through it.
For sure. The best way that I can think of right now is a flyer campaign. We're already in the works. I'll be talking to Phil in a minute. We'll be putting a big bunch of banners. We do plan on continuing with the Festival of the Wolf.
She perks up to that.
we have some other connections tied in with that. It goes along with some other ventures I've invested in. But we will continue on with that. I'll convince Lady Wachter of that. And when we do, we will personally thank the Volakoviches for assisting in the funding of said festival, as well as some opportunities that we'll discuss further on. I have.
She seems pleased with these suggestions. She says, "When I see it, you will have your money. Not 200, but I will give you enough."
Every penny is appreciated. Lady Volakovich, it's been a pleasure. I have a very busy day. I have a couple other people to talk to. But,
That's Petrovna, please, Petrovna.
my apologies. Organic name customs is not a concept I have I understand very well, so I apologize for the name mix-up. But, keep in mind, try and see if maybe you can convince your husband about opening his horizons a little bit. I think there's much that we could do with someone of his intellectual caliber. So
I have all that I can deal with just trying to keep him sober.
I wish you luck with that. If you need us to talk to him, we'll give you a quote. But right now, we're just working on getting the name back into better graces. And the festival might need an MC or a master of ceremonies, and I know how much Mr. Vargas enjoys festivities. So
If you gave him an opportunity to speak before the people, I think it would mean very much to him.
good. I think that's something that we can easily arrange.
She bows a little bit.
As long as he's willing to not slander the current administration, of course. That would look very badly on both of us, so.
Again, she bows at the neck.
A pleasure. Adios. He goes out the door, rubs his temples a little bit, and proceeds to go check on Blinsky. Hopefully both Victor and Blinsky are together. Probably not.
Okay. We'll pick Blinsky up in a sec. Let's figure out Nyx's spell. So the spell you're copying from the scroll, I think, is 3rd level, right?
Yes.
Leave it in.
Yeah.
Let's see. It was, what is it? Remove curse, yeah. And that is not divination, I'm sure. It is not. It's abjuration. Okay, so that's, I think, going to cost you 150 gold.
Oh. Okay. Just take from the
And you would need 6 hours, I think.
Okay. And it's which spell?
Remove curse.
Yeah, I gotta remember how to do this.
That one probably is in the compendium if you wanted to drag it to the
Yeah,
sheet.
so what's the difference between SRD and FBR 24?
I think that's the 2024 rules. You want probably the SRD ones,
Okay.
unless I'm confused.
Is it like standard rules? I don't know.
I would choose SRD. That should be appropriate.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, so yeah, just the 150 gold and the 6 hours, and you'll have the spell in your book. Okay, so for Blinsky, what are you doing with him?
I think he's just gonna check on investments a little bit, see how the metallic heart is going. That's what's on page 333. Is the kind of a smaller, trying to make a smaller version of his boiler that can constitute being a heart.
When you see Blinsky, he's like, Mr. Cog, it's so good to see you. It's no fun, it's no Blinsky, right?
Of course, it's always fun when I see you, Blinsky.
Well, I can tell you, business has been very good, except that we have lost money.
Oh,
Cog is like tapping his fingers a little bit. Once again, we might need to talk about what constitutes that business is going well. How have we lost money?
Is a cost of 5 gold pieces, mostly maintenance costs. Is not much.
Maintenance for what, exactly?
Well, sometimes things explode when working on new bat project.
Are you talking
You remember,
about art or
Blinsky
blowing
sent
up
letter.
birds?
Some of the bats explode.
Right. Yeah, I remember. I remember that part. Were you able to make ones that don't explode right away?
Was not immediately able. Have hope though. But more important, mechanical heart also explode.
Alright. Yeah, I probably should have mentioned to be careful. It is a volatile design. Probably needed to bring Mel for this. Just how much did we lose out of the toy profit?
Total is 5 gold pieces.
We
Have
just
been
lost 5. We only lost 5, or what's the damage here?
only 5. Blinsky has been talking to Victor about this project. We think we can do it. We can make the heart.
Good, cool, nice.
It will take 10 years and a team of 100, but we can do it.
I
That's
love
funny.
Blinsky.
Just like a plume.
I look very much forward to working. You look very forward to working with him as head of R&D. Oh my god.
Cog is like scratching his face, just like you can hear like nails on a chalkboard as he's thinking, okay. That's not very helpful, but alright. That's that for another couple years before we can get that kind of stuff going on. I might have overestimated my R&D at this point. What about the communication doll? You guys got the flower piece, right? I said a bird.
Yes. In fact, he's right here. He goes to a drawer, he opens it, and he pulls out a device. And he says, "Is mostly Victor's doing. I added the little inscription on the side."
What does the inscription say, Blinsky?
It says, "Is no fun, is no Blinsky."
Shocker.
I would be surprised. I hate everything. Cool. So is it just a device or is it a toy?
According to Victor, this will replicate the effect of a sending spell.
Cool.
Only for the person for whom you have made it.
Perfect. Alright.
And they can communicate directly with you.
Perfect. Alright. Okay, cool. What's the other end to it? How does this work exactly? I'm assuming there's a point to communicate to, right?
Oh yes, press right here, send message, they send message back. Is telepathic.
Oh, okay. So she'll hear what I'm saying. Okay, we don't need to put this in a doll form. This actually makes life significantly easier.
Yes, but I think is probably no fun. Would she not prefer have toy made? Maybe some fun smile toy.
I
Could make children that smile and run from wolves.
Yes. I too would have preferred that. I appreciate the enthusiasm. Blinsky, you make a toy, and the next time I see her in person, I'll deliver it. How about that?
I imagine she is the sad type. You say she is gray?
Well, not the new person. This is a different person, but well, yes, we'll bring the new gal over as soon as we find her again. She's out and about shopping with the others. I probably should have introduced Mel. In fact, I'll probably go back to do the introduction a little bit. First, let's get this sucker installed in my head. and test it out.
Of course, of course. He begins busying himself doing that. There is a second component that you would have to give to the other person, which he gives you next.
Nice. That was the thing he had. Yeah, okay. This won't be hard. This might be easier than expected. Perfect. All right. Let's get this sucker installed, and then I have someone who can smuggle in the other half. Perfect. This works great.
I think at this point, since we're probably going to be staying here for the night, Hector might start doing something else after his shopping is done.
What's Hector doing?
Mel will probably get her chest out of her bag of holding.
Before Mel walks off, Azrael will kind of walk up to Mel. Hey, could you do me a favor?
Sure, what?
My bag's been heavy for a while. Is there a limit on how much that bag of holding can hold?
Above table, I turn to DM. Is there a limit of a bag of holding in your world?
I think there is a limit on the item.
I mean, there is a limit on the item, but...
I don't remember what it is, but I feel like there is.
500 pounds.
500 pounds.
500 pounds.
Not exceeding a volume of 64 cubic feet.
Yeah,
Well,
just
I guess-
full of feathers is probably fine.
I bought some stuff, a bunch of stuff, and I'm gonna take out some stuff out of my inventory and give it to Mel to put in the bag of holding if she agrees to it.
Alright,
I'll
why don't
send
you
it.
screenshot and just send it to me and I'll just...
The rations are for us to share, and just in case.
I'll combine it with the rations that Mel has. So
Okay.
it'll be a total thing.
And I guess I'll come back to myself later.
Okay.
The thing.
Okay.
Alright.
Oh yeah, maybe also Azure will go bother Gog because of his gold.
So it's easily going to be 2 o'clock when you leave. I'm just keeping tabs on the time.
Alright.
What else is going on?
Well, after Hector has finished his shopping, I think... kind of realizing that they're probably just going to spend the night here, he's going to spend his extra time going to the refugee district for the Barovians.
Oh, interesting.
And he's gonna see if he can't help anybody that's might be having issues, maybe with their addiction, perhaps.
Irina's gonna go with you, and along the way she says, "You know, it's very nice of you, Hector, to think of my people."
As well. It's been a while since I've acted as a doctor, and I believe right now they're probably in the most need of one.
I think that they seem to be doing much better since they've moved into Valaki's walls.
Yes, but I'm worried some might still be suffering from their addictions.
It is likely true. In fact, when you make the rounds in the district where they're housing the Barovians, you do find a number of people suffering withdrawal effects. And I think we won't need checks. You have enough medical experience that you're able to help them. Not like you can't completely remove the problem, but you can help them a bit. And a lot of them remark that this has been keeping them from the construction projects that Fiona Wachter has been getting together. In fact, a few of them tell you that they're eager to join the workforce, but they're a little afraid of something found in the woods. That recently a number of the workmen who were clearing the path to the windmill discovered some kind of fog-filled zone where there were standing stones, and it looked ancient and foreboding. Aside from that, they'd like to get involved in the work because it's good pay.
Alright. I think I should tell Cog this, and we should perhaps handle this personally.
how long does it take to install that piece in the cog's head?
Oh, they've got it done already.
Okay, cool.
Um,
I'm just gonna look around and see if Muriel's around.
Cog finds Azrael first, and he approaches him.
Where do you look for her?
I would take probably the bar first of all.
Okay. So you go to the Blue Water Inn. Azrael catches up to you in the middle. Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hey Cog, I think you owe me something.
What do you want? A hug? A slug in the shoulder? I'm a little busy right now.
Try to guess what I want, Cog.
Therapy? Arm reduction cream?
I need your therapy fees. You owe me. Come on, give them back.
I don't know what you're talking about. Excuse me.
25 gold you left out.
You know, I didn't take you much for a penny pincher. I mean, I just considered how much you respected me. You'd just let me keep 25. You know, call it a forgiveness fee for all the struggle you guys have put me through.
Azrael takes the money. Forget about respect. You lost it.
Cog kind of waves him off, goes inside to look for
Irwin?
Muriel.
You get Irwin coming out of the kitchen with some food that he was bringing to a table. Once he takes care of that, he comes over and he says, Craggit Cog, what are you doing in town again?
Business. I'm looking for one of your associates.
Oh, do you mean
Muriel
Maria?
from earlier, after we helped with that.
I'm afraid that she isn't around, Velaki. She might have flown the town.
She does seem like one for a flight of fancy.
Would you like me to send a bird to speak with her?
That's fine. I have means of calling someone up.
All right. Well, if that will be all you need, you're of course welcome to a room and food anytime you like.
That's perfect. I'm sure the others will come by. We have some housing we're having built pretty soon. That being said, that's pretty much all I need. Thank you. I'm trying to think what else I got. Why didn't I just
Oh.
do anything?
Wait, what? Did you have another thing for?
I do. I need to talk to the walkers and check in on the walkers.
When
Although
you
I prob-
walk away, he says, "Oh, and Cog, be careful with her. She's fragile after her loss."
You know, what can I say? From one broken toy to another, they appeal to me. So, I think that's it that Cog has. Why did Cog just speak to Muriel? Shucks.
You have too many plans.
That's right. Cog steps out and blows the whistle.
In the middle of the street.
In the
Smart.
middle of
You're on the street? You're not gonna do it in an alleyway at least?
Cog walks around to the alleyway and blows the whistle.
After not too long, a bird flies overhead and then flies into what looks like an abandoned storeroom.
Cog follows up behind.
Inside, you find a woman standing in the darkness.
Buongiorno, I don't think we've met yet. Craggit Cog, I'm sure you're familiar with the business already.
She steps forward. It's someone you haven't met yet. She tilts her head and says, "I'm excited to meet you, actually. We've been told that you're basically the #1 hope for our little organization. What do you need?"
I need you guys to smuggle something into the Abbey for me. The Abbey at Keswick.
Shouldn't be too hard. What are you smuggling?
Cog gives her the other half of the communication device.
She takes it and like looks it over. She's confused by it. She says, "All right, I'm not even going to ask what this is, but where do you want it in the Abbey? That place creeps me out. I'm not sure I want to go in for very long."
You need to drop it off with these instructions. I'm assuming Cog would have had Blinsky write up some like directions.
Yeah, you can explain to her how it works.
Yeah, so she, needs to go to a gal named Vasilka. She's pale as a sheet, covered in organic goo or skin, I guess you'd call it.
Don't worry, I know who she is. I used to have to watch that area.
Yeah, so I'll drop it off to her, explain how it works, and then get the heck out of there.
I don't know how easily I can explain to her without revealing too much about myself, but I could drop it off with a note.
Yeah, do that.
All right, shall I write it for you?
That'd be fantastic. I have to get some more printer paper. Muriel was supposed to drop some off, but I haven't run into her yet, so...
Well, I hope you call on me again. These tasks are pretty easy, and it gets me away from the monotony of having to watch the Svalage Road.
Hey, we're running a little late. I meant to call you up and tell you. We'll be there in a second.
I think that was out of character.
That was okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Are you,
as I was saying,
are you leaving?
Well,
Hey, do you guys want to leave?
we're getting pretty close to it, yeah. But but as I was saying, yeah, just write the note, drop it off. We're good.
Okay, she
Alright.
salutes and leaves.
Yeah.
What's Melano doing?
Melano was following Azrael.
Oh,
Oh, then Azrael would
Silent when Azrael came over Cog.
so which
Azrael would have oh sorry, Azrael would have went to the blacksmith by now, but it's up to Mel if she's still following him or not.
Oh, she'll follow.